Hey everybody, it's me, Stephanie. It is proper difficult for me not to go off on a tangent about other stuff. So I am going to try to stick to talking about practicing loads of skateboarding, going to nationals again, and doing a lot better than I did last time. I went to nationals recently. I doubled my score from last time and I came 13th, which is better again than I did last time. So for a bit of backstory, before I had my son, I used to go to these type of things. They don't really have it exactly the same layout as that. And even 1 year or 2 years after I had my son, I feel like I used to go to those things, sort of easily come maybe like top 5, where like I felt I didn't really have to try that hard, like not in a mean way or anything, like just it didn't feel like a lot of effort for me. Obviously now, as I've got to like structure my time around like school and my son and everything like that, and I'm not putting that as an excuse, because the level of skateboarding in this country and all countries for women has gone crazy. But I basically, obviously I'm 37 now, and I feel so sort of re-inspired by this new generation of girls. I don't think it's toxic. Like, I'm pretty sure this isn't coming from a place of like, you know, not being able to sit back and appreciate that, because I definitely can appreciate that. But I just felt that like my physical fitness is the best it's ever been from going gym. And I really feel like my skateboarding was like kind of individual, quite decent tricks, but I had never learned to skate in that way where it's like flowy and linking a lot of lines or runs together. And I've never really dabbled with skating like proper vert, which I'd always wanted to do. And obviously I'm like questioning myself all the time, what I'm doing and what I want to put my energy towards. And what I really love is skateboarding. And I did another video explaining like what I want to do and what I'm doing with social media. And I just felt like, right, I feel like I just have so much more to give in skateboarding and so much more to achieve. And so like just many more hours and like amazing times on the board that it gives you. And so another thing I was really interested in is whether you can really push your level. And I'm obviously not super old, but like I am 37, and I think a lot of people would kind of assume you can't like really push yourself to an elite level at this point. And so I wanted to do like a human experiment on myself to see if that is possible. Now, last time I went to nationals, I think I came like 19th or even 20th. I got a score of 19. My confidence was kind of in the bin. Like, I went there and I remember like not feeling like I really wanted to talk to anyone, or which is really out of character for me. I'm usually kind of like a hype person, really excited and really grateful to be there. And so I had noticed last year that I didn't feel like myself, which was like a horrible feeling. And then I felt that I'd done quite badly. I obviously was like still kind of proud of myself for going there and doing it, but I really just hate that feeling where you're like, you know, a lot of people are saying to you, at least you did it. And you're like, oh, that's not how I want to feel. So this time around, I just noticed a complete change in myself. And I think that's due to a couple of factors. I think the first factor is reflecting my skateboarding, like really honestly, which I'm not sure if I've ever done. And shout out to Darren and Sam Beckett, because they had kind of helped me do that. I don't think it was necessarily intentionally that helped me do that, but I'd sent a video to submit for something for Skateboard and GB, and I got rejected from that. And I was like, I think in the past I've always been kind of like, oh, they obviously like didn't really see it properly, or like, oh, we value different tricks or whatever. But and that's obviously a really easy way to sort of protect yourself from criticism or whatever. And so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna ask them like what I would need to do to like reach this like higher level of skating which I wanted to be at, or you know, just improve in general. And you know, Sam took the time to write me this really great email about like you know, advice that he felt could be useful, and it was really useful. And it also made me be like, oh, I've been focusing on the wrong things. And I was really grateful for that. And then subsequently I had a call with Darren, and again, really grateful for that, because it just sort of made me see things like, don't even know how to put this. Like, basically before I just thought my skating was fine, and then I realised, like, oh, it's not that my skating's not fine, it's just like a different way of doing things, A, and also B, like, it doesn't matter how many followers I've got, it doesn't matter what I look like, it doesn't matter, nobody cares. Like, you just actually have to learn and go through all the hard work of doing it, which I obviously get, and I have worked really hard at skating in the past, but it was almost just like accepting that I have to go back to basics. There's actually a lot of stuff I've skipped out because of the way skateboarding has been in the past. Like, I was always so eager to learn something that would make me look like I was good at skating. So for instance, like, I could blunt fakie, but I can't. I'm working on cross lock in my 50/50s, and so there was just this huge gap of like learning a lot of technical and like basic things. So I'm really happy to be doing that, and I've worked really hard on doing that, and it's been quite difficult at times because I've really had to like be like, sometimes like certain thing is like maybe a little bit boring or repetitive or like doing it over and over again, but actually like when I put my final run together or when I put it all together, then it was fun, because obviously, you know, everyone knows skating's a bit like that. You like practice, and then you get this glorious day where everything comes together, which is awesome. And I also wanted to share that I had like a lot of sort of tips about, you know, I'm just shutting my window because there's like a rando guy walking past. I had a lot of tips about like confidence and like being more confident and putting energy into yourself and kind of like ignoring distractions to kind of get to where I'm at. Like, this literally just yesterday or the day before, I had got voted like the #1 UK influencer for skateboarding, which was a surprise to me even, and I'm really super excited about that. I just feel like it's so cool because I have worked so hard. But part of working hard has been like making a schedule which like prioritizes like focusing really heavy on my goals, and pretty much all I do is go gym, go skating, and look after my son. And I guess from social media it probably doesn't look like I'm spending a lot of time with my son because I don't post him, but I'm like present for my son every single night, every single meal time, bar like 1 or 2. And so I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, oh yeah, I do, the confidence thing. But it was a really conscious decision to sort of cut out like toxicity or toxic friendships, relationships from my life that weren't serving me, and focus on like being really positive, believing in myself, because the stuff people say to you, like that you might not even notice, like say you're like, oh, I want to try this trick, and someone would be like, oh, that trick's really hard. It's like not a direct dig at you, but it is like, oh, it's not really what I needed to hear there. So what I would say I did was I kept a real eye on like who was uplifting me around me, who I felt good around, and then also keeping a real eye on not making myself sort of like too available for drama or anything like that. You know, I've obviously had it where like people needing help or whatever, and like I'm always there to be there for a friend, but if something's taking like so much of your energy and you could be focusing that on yourself and your career, then like that's another thing that I have done. I just feel like I've just got like crazy focus, and I know what I want to do, and I know what I want to learn, and like where I want to be with skating. So it is kind of became easy for me to be like, nah, I'm not doing that, that's not for me, or like good luck with what you've got going on, but I'm actually doing this, which is a skill in and of itself. And obviously like I'll be there for family, and I'll like really be there for my son, but like besides that, like, you know, I would say that I'm a nice friend, but I'm not here for a lot of drama, and I'm not doing it. And then Also in terms of confidence, it's really hard, I think, to have like real self-belief, especially when society's like telling you like you can't be old, you can't be a woman, or like, you know, I'm not saying that directly in relation to skateboarding. There's so many little things where you're every day being told like, you know, especially as a mum, like, oh, you shouldn't be putting yourself in danger. But obviously the risk for me is calculated, and like my son, when he sees me skate or when he sees me push through a fear, which he's seen a lot of times, he's like jumping up and down and going crazy, and he's so excited that I've done that, and I've seen it directly relate to him being like, I'm not afraid, or encouraging other kids to do something they're scared of. So like I'm so proud of that. So wanted to talk a bit about the practical side of like just rounding up this little period of my life, because I obviously really sort of dedicated the last 6 months to improving, which I intend to carry on doing. But my experience of the nationals and of practicing for that. And so one thing I did was make like lists of my tricks. And I did like, I don't open the window because it's getting so hot in here. I did tick lists, and I just did reps of the tricks. And like, I've heard that other skaters do like 1,000 reps of one trick till they feel they've got it or something. Quite a famous girl that we probably all know. This is like a rumor that I heard. So I started to do that, not necessarily 1,000, but I'll do like 5 every time I go skating, and then I'll make myself get it on the bigger ramp and the bigger ramp. And this helped me so much, because I'd been getting my 50 fakies on like all of the ramps where I'm at, and some of them scared me, and then it kind of repeatedly scared me and became unscary. But it meant that when I did my 50 fakie over the love seat to fakie, although I was a bit scared to do it there because it's concrete and it was big, it was like I knew I could do it. So practicing in that way had gave me like a real foundation of confidence. And also, so practicing the reps. And then another thing is like I had been eating super healthy, and I'd been taking like electrolyte drinks, and also having protein before and after my carbs after my skates, because I'd do like gym and then a skate, and just fueling up like really properly, and then having carbs after to make sure that I've recovered properly. Felt like that was really key to not getting too tired and to being able to skate the next day. And then what I noticed when I was like there at the competition is that my overall confidence compared to last time, and my overall feeling of happiness and being able to be there for the other girls, because a lot of them are a lot younger than me, and I felt like I did, you know, give some sort of words of emotional support and stuff like that. And me being able to be present in that way was because I have gave myself so much time and so much energy on the lead up to this, that I was actually able to somewhat enjoy it. And I was still nervous, but my like feeling towards the whole thing was just tenfold more positive than how I behaved last time. And I was able to also just give a lot more energy to others. So that was really nice to see that. And yeah, I think obviously goes without saying with anything, like if you practice really hard, the more you practice, and then the better it's probably going to go. Obviously you can get unlucky, but overall great experience, really lucky to be a part of it, really lucky to still be skateboarding. My plans for the like near future is to get back to a level where I'm like skating really competitively. I love competing. I just really want to push myself. I just think it's such a fun experiment to just see how far I can push myself. Now I'm so inspired by the new generation. I'm seeing things from them which I never thought that were even possible for me. So the fact that I have that now is like an amazing inspiration, and definitely want to keep pushing forward. And really love the UK scene. Everyone was so sick. Everyone's pushing themselves so hard. no one's afraid to sort of say or show that they care, which I love, because obviously I've always been talking about that, and you know, sometimes been criticized for it, like you know, talking a lot on social media, or you know, it can come across like cheesy or whatever. So just overall feeling confident and great, and yeah, I think that's it. And I think if anyone has any questions, please ask me them down below and I will try to answer them. But my plan going forward is just keep pushing my skating, keep skating loads, keep it on my fitness, and hopefully inspiring all of you guys to be super confident and focus on yourself and get out on your boards and have a great time. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Okay. Bye.